Wow, here we are at Eden Project. Eden Project. I can't believe this. I really can't believe this. What a weekend. What a day. Unbelievable. Unbelievable day. I've just got to connect with our first person. I just want you to put your hands in the air and say 2 words. All together now, because that's what this is all about. Community, creativity, and maybe the coronavirus is a war, maybe it's a battle, maybe we're fighting this together. I don't know, but here we go. We're ready for a Saturday, Sunday, whatever night it is. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for an evening with some incredible people? Some incredible people. I'm just about to connect with one of them now. I've just said hi on Skype. Because we're using Skype, because it's all we know, whatever, who cares? We're about to smash this. The Art of Community. Today's Pete's Day, Grandad Pete's Day, because Grandad Pete is a grandad in Liverpool who is working with us to build a community, to build an online platform that we can use to teach him, to help him teach his kids to code. This is an incredible journey we're working on here. The power of art, creativity, technology and people. The power of creativity, technology and people to inspire kids in their learning, to create careers and to fuel the economy, and to connect communities. This is not about politics, it's not about party politics, but it is about policy. When people have policies that affect our kids, affect creativity, affect communities, we're going to call it out. We're very grateful to be in receipt of national funding public funding from the National Lottery and the Arts Council England. But that's not taxpayers' money, that's individuals' money, and we're paying it, we're using it, we're trying to communicate. I've just come out to the street, I've just been chatting with Chris Sullivan from the WAG Club. He was talking about Merthyr Tydfil when he left, a depressed place. Bob Geldof last weekend talked about how he worked in a slaughterhouse. A place that didn't just kill animals, a place that slaughtered dreams. Think about that for a minute, a place slaughtering dreams. That put fire in his belly. To be part of a movement in the 70s called punk rock 1.0. And punk rock was not about the Sex Pistols necessarily. Punk rock was not necessarily about the Clash. Punk rock was not necessarily about the New York Dolls or the Damned or the Ramones or whoever. It wasn't about Scar. It wasn't about the guys in Coventry that we heard about yesterday, the Selector. It wasn't about necessarily New Romantics and Steve Strange and all those guys down at those clubs. It wasn't necessarily about Stormzy and Grime. It wasn't necessarily about Skepta and those people playing at Glastonbury. It was about our youth. And as Punk 1.0, we have a responsibility to our young people to give them agency. We have responsibility to help these people, young people of ours, our kids, find themselves and build a future, because the world has stopped for 2 months. The world has stopped. You could not have made this up a year ago. The world has been stopped, and here we are now, ready to restart it. This is not revolutionary speak for the sake of it. This is us just doing what we can. I'm a dad, I'm having a bit of a crack, and I am just going to try and press a few buttons here because I have got an utter legend lined up here. Well, I haven't. Sasha pulled it off for me, a friend of mine. We are just about to go live to a video window in a place not a million miles from you, possibly, or me, or whatever. Chris Sullivan reckons he knows where we're going to, but I never believe anything that Chris Sullivan says. How are we doing down there? Are we ready to rock and roll? We've got John Wardle actually on the other end. John, are you ready to play game? You ready for this?
Hello, mate. Yeah.
Hello, mate. I've got a bit of armpit action at the moment. That's all good. It's all good. Hello.
There you go.
Loving that. We are going to press this button, and live and direct, we are talking to not just John Wardle, but the mighty Jar Wobble. Jar, hello, John. I'm going to shut this door, move this fire extinguisher. I'm very, very well, actually. I've just been chatting about you. Were your ears burning?
No, I've just trying to get me bits of poetry together.
It's all good. It's all good. Are you ready for us? Are you good?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'll just do a couple of poems, then we have an interview, right?
Fantastic. Are we allowed to ask where you are? Because we're pretending we're down in the Eden Project in Cornwall, but we're not. We're in Paddington, West London, Clash territory, I suppose.
I'm in São Paulo. I'm in Brazil at the moment.
You are kidding me. Are you serious? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Steve,
Yeah.
Chris Sullivan said to say hello. He says he's an old mate of yours. He reckons.
Oh, Chris is a good man. Yeah, Chris is a good
He
man.
reckons you might be
Yeah.
squirreled away in North Wales somewhere, actually.
Oh yeah, he's a good man, Chris. Yes, yeah. Chris is a very good man. Yeah, he run the old WAG club for years.
That's
He's a
right.
good guy.
I'm not being funny, John, but I don't know you from Adam. You've got a bit of a bogey on your left nose hole there. So just give yourself a bit on your nose. There you go. That's all sorted. We sorted out.
Oh, fucking how embarrassing!
It's even bigger now.
Yeah,
It's hanging out now. Yeah, get that sorted out. Let's get the bogies sorted out. Oh, fantastic. I hope that's not blown out. I hope he hasn't just gone and he's going to phone his agent and that's all over.
Very, very embarrassing.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'm
well
not,
done.
whatever. Do you know what I mean? Do you
It
remember?
must have been a difficult thing. You must have thought,
do you
shall
know
I
what?
tell him or not?
Well, I didn't. I don't care actually, because we've got people who get a bit upset about this. This is. Do you remember the F word back in the 70s? The fanzine vibe. You know what does fanzine mean to you?
Cheap and cheerful punk, kind of. The punk days. I think of half a dozen bits of newspaper of paper held together with string. It was great.
Well, do you know
Do
what?
it yourself.
Well, do you remember? Okay, so that's what fanzines were. So fanzines to magazines were bits of string and bits of paper stuck together. How many television programs did you make in the 70s? How many videos did you make in the 70s?
Oh, do you know what? I never did too many videos.
Well, I'm not being funny about it.
I did more. I did more in the 90s videos. You know, but I never had no one. People never thought I was worthy of. I can't see you, by the way. Where are you?
Well, I can turn it on. The thing is, if I turn it on there, then that puts a little window in the corner. You can see me, but it's all a bit random this way.
Yeah. But anyway, no.
Have you got?
No one really trusted me with a big budget really over the years that much. So it's only in the 90s I was with Ireland and we made some videos with Pill. We did a video for video was just getting big then. You know, it was just starting to get. It was its early days. So we did a video for Public Image, the single, you know, and that was like you had a film set and everything, you know. That it was like making a little movie. And in fact, it carried on like that. At the night you'd film it, wouldn't you? So they'd have the dolly and everything, you know, like a big deal, you know.
Well, the funny thing is, I'm not being funny, but in the 70s, believe it or not, it's hard to imagine they hadn't actually invented video.
Well,
they hadn't invented it. So
78 actually, yeah, 78. That's when we did the Pill track, and it was the first days because we got hold of a couple of the early days VHSs before they were available.
Oh, really?
In shops. Wow. Yeah, and so you would film it then, and it would go on telly, you know, but very few places would sort of play it. But then in the 80s, when everyone was starting to make videos, we did a couple, you know, cheap and cheerful that worked quite well. But it was in the 90s that I did a few, you know.
Would you say that?
And we did one for Memories with Pill, and that actually was on video. It wasn't on film. It was done at Acklam Hall, I think, you know.
I'm not being funny, but I'd rather. It's funny actually. You mentioned the F word there. I don't know if you let that slip accidentally, because obviously we were talking about the video, and it was actually film back in those days, wasn't it? If you did a promo, it was film, and that was expensive.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Expensive business.
With Memories, it was video. It was actually a video. We actually
was it?
videoed
Yeah.
it, as I recall. Yeah, unless I'm being completely mental. Yeah, it was done on video, and it was very blurry. It was very poor. You know, it wasn't great quality technically. You know. But the first one was done on, I think it wasn't that grand a job, but it's probably 16 mil film, you know. It was filmed
funny. Do
properly.
you remember a band called Devo? Do you remember Devo back in the day?
Yeah, we are Devo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was a big Devo fan. They used to have these boiler suits, and they had a track called Mongoloid. Do you remember that? Mongoloid.
Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah.
And the NME used to write about the fact that they had a film for Mongoloid, but you could only see it if you went to see Devo because they played it before the gig, because there was no VHS, there was no MTV. So the only way you could see a moving image of your favourite band was to get. I mean, what a change to what we've got now, where we're just squirting crap onto the internet and YouTube, and it's a different world, isn't it? And you're talking about. So you were one of the video pioneers, really, then, by the sound of it, and that stuff.
Well, I don't know. No, like I say, I had little record deals and all that in those days, but I wasn't great at coming up with singles, and if you didn't come up with singles, they probably wouldn't give you a video. You know, like I say, it was only we did a few independent jobs. I remember I did one for a track called Alcohol in about 1987, 86, 87. We did that, and God, I can't remember much else apart from that in the 80s that we did. But in the 90s, like I say, just for 5 minutes, I had a budget, so we did a few videos. It's becoming more like God is right up there on the on the telly. You know, it's still on YouTube. You know,
mad, isn't it? John, can I just ask you? You're looking over to the right, and I'm over here. Have you got two different cameras or something? Or...
Well, I can't see you.
Well,
I can't see you.
Okay, so I can turn it on, but that's looking good. You're looking at me now. You see, I mean,
I can see you there.
I'm not very good looking. You see, I'd rather you. Are you on an iPhone or a tablet or something, or a laptop?
Yeah, iPad.
Okay,
iPad.
So your camera is to your left. So if you sort of pretend, that's spot on. So you're now looking at my face, funny enough, believe it or not. It's all a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah, so you're looking at the screen. Yeah. That's spot on. Although your head's in a little in the corner, but not to worry, it's all good. We're just making it up as we go on. Because the point I was going to make is, I think what we're doing now, that is spot on, John. That is spot on. Leave that like that.
Yeah.
I think the point I'd make, if anything, is what we're doing here with video is what you and colleagues were doing with fanzines back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Just cutting and pasting. We're cutting and pasting video. We're broadcasting globally. You're in Sao Paulo. It's mad, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah.
So
well, you know, it's it's funny, but it's lockdown. Wherever you are, you're on Zoom. It's all good, you know. So, you know, I must admit, it works. You know, I mean, you know, maybe it's not as good as the real thing, but it functions, doesn't it? You know.
Well, it's funny you say that because I actually think Zoom's shit, to be honest. But don't tell them because I just think it's all a bit formulaic, and you know, you can't see what's coming out now. It's a little bit.
I mean, to be honest, in this lockdown, I've been reading more, but then again, I read off the iPad. I have a lot of books on there, you know.
Fair enough.
I do use, you know, we're all the bitches of Apple. I say that's what we are, aren't we? Apple own it all, one way or the other.
Well, Apple, Google, and Microsoft, I think they've divvied it up between them, haven't they? Really. So, Rewind selected. So, Sex Pistols, punk, blah blah blah, and then you had a collaboration with John Lydon, Public Image. Tell us about that, Pill.
Oh, Pill. Well, I was there, found a member of that we formed in '78. You know, so '78 we formed it, and there were a couple of albums I did. First Edition was the first album. Then we did Metal Box, and it was I was only in Pill like that couple of years, the first couple of albums, and I shifted out and I went to I worked with the Can people, with Jackie Libazan and Holger Zukai, and then I worked with Francois Kevorkian, dance producer, and we made records, and you know, and then I had ups and downs after that, and then I ended up in the 90s, you know, a bit of quite a renaissance very early on in the early 90s, and I worked with Bill Laswell, who's a really great, he's a good friend of mine, the producer. I worked with Bill, and you know, it was good. Yeah, you know, whatever. So I just cracked on really. Bill was the beginning for me. You know, I was a novice bass player. I still like to try and be a novice bass player because in the mind of the beginner, there is many possibilities. In the mind of the expert, there's few. So I don't like feeling like an expert. You know. I like taking it back down to basics and everything. But, you know, that's with Pill Start. I was very lucky because I was able to, no one dictated to me what I should do. I didn't have to follow the compositions written by guitarists or something, you know. So I was able just to play very naturally, you know. It was good.
And how did you get into playing the bass? Is that something you learnt at school or you just picked up yourself? Or
I just picked up myself, yeah. I wish everything could have been that easy. I was very attracted to bass. I was really drawn to it. You know, I knew without doubt what instrument I wanted to play, you know. So that was it. I went for the bass. And, I think it's like when you go to a Battersea Dog Zone, the particular dog you end up going home with, it's chosen you. And I think bass chose me somehow. You know.
I must admit, I was a little grammar school boy, and I used to play the cello. So I tried to map that onto.
Yeah, lovely instrument.
Well, I transferred one of those Fender. The Fender basses were lovely instruments back in those days.
Well, that's what I like. I like Fender. I'm a Fender P bloke.
You're getting technical now. What's the P mean? I just know Fender bass because didn't Sid Vicious used
Fender
to play
Precision.
Oh,
Fender
yes,
Precision.
exactly. Spot on.
Yeah.
Fender Precision.
Fender piece. So
I used to
yeah,
drew.
Fender Jazz is nice, but Precision's got slightly wider neck, and you know, and I like. For years, I went away from Fender and I played a Magnum, and
Is that
which is
Fender?
a
Or
very
is that a
heavy
different?
old bass made in the 70s. You know, but I've got I'll show you this.
That'd be lovely. Yeah, cool. If anybody's got any questions for John, go to the YouTube channel or YouTube and put some questions in. We can get you on.
Scroll neck. Can you see that?
Oh,
Can you
beauty!
see that?
So that's not Fender. That's a different brand, is it? A different metal?
No, that's an Ampeg. This is one of the first basses made.
Wow, so that's an antique then.
It's in
basically.
the 50s, yeah. So you know, I love it. It's a lovely, you know, beautifully crafted. You know, it's semi-acoustic. You know, it's lovely. But where were we? Yeah, so yeah, bass.
Well,
I love bass.
We're here now. Wherever.
You know, and I was never that classically trained or anything, but I've had to catch up on me. You just naturally develop anyway. You play by ear, but I bone up. I've used the lockdown actually to, you know, try and sharpen up the sight reading, which is rubbish. But you know, just get some of those basic musical things
so
together. I've used that. It's time to do that actually. You know.
Do you mean reading music when you say sight reading? Do you?
Yeah, sight reading, just familiarising yourself with compositions, some quite fiddly kind of that you like. So if you learn the part, you absorb something of it, and you know, learning the bass tabs or reading the bass clef. You know, I'm really like a poor reader, but it can be a quickish way to get into the heart of what those particular, whether it's Jaco Pastorius or Aston Family Man, Barrett, or somebody, these people that I really respect, you know. So yeah, just as a basic discipline, I've been doing quite a bit of that. But a lockdown, learning Spanish, you know, probably like a lot of people. I think yoga, doing that kind of things come into play, you know.
Excuse my complete ignorance, but you're in São Paulo, which is Brazil. That's Portuguese, isn't it?
Yeah, look, the São Paulo was a bloody lie. I'm sorry. I'm in Stockholm. Sorry. You said something about make something up, so I made something up. You led me into the lie. It's a weak lie, and it's crumbled.
It's all good.
Crumbled.
I just called you bluff. This Spain.
I'm in Stockholm. I live in Stockholm.
Fantastic. So Chris Sullivan said you're in North
Which
Wales.
is a funkier place than São Paulo.
Fair dues.
And if you said to me, why did you say São Paulo? Because I was watching a recording of Channel 4, the news, and the woman was in São Paulo, and it must have been why I chose that. You know, I do tell those lies. I pretend to be Hungarian and stuff, and come from I come from an aristocratic Hungarian stuff, bullshit like that.
Whatever. I thought maybe you're on the trail of Ronnie Biggs.
Brightens my little life up, you know.
Fair dues. So where did you grow up then? You're South London boy, are you? Something?
No, I'm not. I'm East London. I'm out Stepney.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm East London. Stepney I grew up, and a very different place to what it is now, obviously, you know. But yeah, I'm out Stepney, East London, and I moved up here 20 odd years ago. You know.
What's your strongest memory of school? There's a random question. Go for it. What's your most strongest memory of school?
Primary or secondary?
Oh, technical question. Primary first. Primary first.
Sisters of Mercy. Sisters of Mercy.
Oh, that's a music. So hang on. So the Sisters of Mercy are a memory from primary
No.
school?
The Sisters of Mercy are a Catholic sect. You know, they're nuns. You know, so
was that your primary
Catholic,
school then?
So, yeah, well, they were the teachers there. That was run by the Sisters of Mercy. Funny enough, very little mercy. In fact, none that I ever saw. But anyway, it was run by the Sisters of Mercy. You know, I think, from what I could gather, people considered them the Waffen SS of nuns. I forget what you called it, a grouping of nuns, or you know, they've got their own kind of sect. You know, they would see. Sisters of Mercy, there's Carmelite nuns in there and all that, but the Sisters of Mercy were hardcore. They had a real starched, kind of weird white collar thing and black, or you know, robes, and they're quite hardcore. You know, I think it's all changed now. I think it's changed a lot. It started to change a long time ago. Yeah, they were old school. They were very tough. You know, so if you got a question wrong, they'd whack you. And I remember once I got the question right. She said, "Put your hand out," and I was like, "Yeah, but I've got the question right." And she hit me and said, "That'll teach you to get it right every time."
You are
So
kidding
even
me.
when I got it right, I was wrong because it reflects on the fact I'm not right all the time. Therefore, I still got whacked on the hand. Used to get caned on the hand. Yeah.
Wow, that's wow. I got whacked by a
Oh
ruler
well,
a couple of times,
come on.
but yeah,
That's why Catholics tend to be a bit neurotic. We're probably like a dying breed because it doesn't exist like that anymore. I don't think so. It's no, So that's how it was then. It was
I don't think
very much a different era.
I suspect there aren't many schools where the staff are known as the Waffen SS. That's, at least we stamp that out. That's
That's
progress,
just my own opinion. Suspicion. They were the Waffen SS of Catholic nuns. That they were the hardcore kind of really took no prisoners.
It's interesting. I'm not,
real ideologues.
I'll be honest, this is about you and not me, but my strongest memory of primary school was being whacked by a ruler by the teacher and told that I would never end up like my dad because his dad was a lawyer and one day he'd drive past me in a Rolls Royce and I'd be sweeping the street and blah, blah, blah. It's amazing how those memories stay with you, isn't it? What was your...
Yeah. Oh, God, it's just so,
What was your secondary memory then?
Be afraid. That was the message. Be afraid, So it's which is the worst message to give to people, really. Be afraid, because it makes everyone kind of neurotic and whatever. But yeah, there you go. State education. But I mean, hey, I did learn me 3 R's.
What were your 3 R's then? What were the 3 R's as far as you know them?
Reading, writing, arithmetic, isn't it? I think.
I thought you said there were 3 R's and none of those start with R, do they?
3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic. It's like a joke. The 3 R's. The 3 R's were considered the basis of education: reading, writing, arithmetic. Which is fair enough, I suppose they are in a sense.
I'm going to trump you then. Do you know what the 4th R is?
No, come on.
You've dropped on your screen. Actually, we've just about got your chin in. Can you give your screen a bit of a twist, or sit there, or stay there, or move your screen, whatever.
I don't think I've moved.
I want you looking your best. Maybe you've got one of those cheap Apple laptops and the screen's gradually slipping. It's still a bit low.
I've got a bloody iPad Pro, mate.
Well, prop it up a bit more and get more of your neck and shoulders in because it's all a bit. That's the one.
Is that better?
That's better. Yeah, that's better. I'm liking that. Yeah, we've got a bit of branded T-shirt now. What's Uniqlo? There you go. They'll send you a couple of grand.
What is it? I don't even know what.
They'll send you a couple of grand for that.
Yeah.
That's your product placement, Dan.
Actually, I should wear one of my own shirts. Actually, hang about. Yeah, we'll get this on. Hang about. It's a Jar Wobble, vintage Jar Wobble T-shirt. Let's put this on.
Apologies for this, viewers. We're just going to a quick change of costume with our A-list guest tonight.
How'd you like that?
Spot on. Jar Wobble is in the house.
It's a vintage. You can't get these anymore. It's a vintage Jar Wobble.
So you are officially Jar Wobble. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, well, if I ever forget my name, as my dementia develops, as it probably will, Doc. Oh, there you go. That's what I want.
Fantastic. So bass guitar, music. I mean, are you still doing the music? You're in love with your instruments. You playing? You're doing session work. You've got a band going on. Excuse me. I did no research at all. It's been a busy weekend.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not bothered. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to make you cry. I had a great year last year, and this year was going to be my best year since the 90s. So we had a ton of work, and I was going off touring with the Orb as well and all that. So nothing, cut dead, But then I think most of that goes. So yeah, I reformed the Invaders of the Heart. So Jar Wobble Invaders of the Heart was the band. So I've reformed that, and yeah, we've been very active. I've got a great band, Chungy, Mark Leighton Bennett, George King, Martin Chungy Chung, a great guy, great band, great players, and they're really stalwart. So we've toured and toured and toured. There's no secret. We do good shows. We played for 2.5 hours a night. We toured a lot at the start of this year. So yeah, got a lot going on. So I'm hard at it still. Still love playing. Still making records. And all that. So got one out with a family. We're all on it because me missus plays. Charlie, me younger son, plays. It goes under the name GZTN, and me elder boy John Tai. He plays. So we got one out. GZTN does the vocals and the rapping. We've got a track out called Dim Sum at the moment. You know, I've always got music coming out. You know, so yeah, I'm still lots of shows, lots of records, same old. You know,
that's a good vibe. So it's a family thing going on then. You mean you actually play with your sons? That's lovely, isn't it? Because I've got...
yeah, we'll play. You know, yeah. I mean, Mrs. She's plays Kuching Chinese. She was born in China, moved over to Liverpool. Actually, it's for the Eden Project, right? This.
Well, we're pretending
we're
at the Eden Project. Yeah, we're actually. I'm in Paddington. You're in Stockport. You pretend you're in Sao Paulo. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's the same shit.
There is no centre anymore, and that's what this thing's brought out. This whole lockdown period. There was no centre anyway. You know, it's like the studio now. It's weird. I can work on this iPad on the settee. You know, and I'm happy with it. You know, I mean, there isn't a centre, a physical centre, and that's what one of the weird things with the digital age, and I guess now that's going to really, you know, that's going to really change. But anyway, I mean, Mrs. C plays. She come to Liverpool. She grew up in Liverpool, and my boys play. So yeah, we've got a family album coming out. And I've got tons of other stuff going on here, there, and everywhere. You know.
So Stockport's almost kind of Liverpool, then, is it? Really? Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's like a cheap Liverpool.
No, it's near Manchester.
Oh, you're more Manchester that way. I'm going
to. Yeah, but it's basically Park Great Manchester. Although everyone considers it to be in Cheshire, really, but they changed the border in the 70s. I think 74. There was a lot of border changes. Probably it's when Rutland become something else, you know. But whatever. So
no, that was random.
People still put Cheshire, Stockport, Cheshire, but technically it's part of Greater Manchester for what it's worth, you know. But I've been here for. I'm now an honorary Stopfordian, as they'd say. I think, you know, I've got a lot of mates around here and play football around here, and, you know, and all that. It's all good, you know. Oh, he is.
That's a squeaky door, isn't it?
Come here.
What you got there then?
Come here. Here he is. Come here. Whoa! Tyson.
Oh,
he's just walked, barges his way through the door.
I thought a child was walking in for a minute. I thought you were talking to him like a 6-year-old.
Lovely little dog. Yeah, here he is. Love him, and he loves his dad. And I love him. Yeah,
it's a dog thing going on.
So yeah, you know, it's a good. It's a nice place. Northerners are down to earth. You know, that suits me.
Fair enough. No, I think it's fantastic. You've got your family involved because what I'm doing, I'm walking around like a bit of a twat in a high vis and a hat, you know, and it's not because Banksy said it, but I'm post-rationalising it. Banksy says walk around in a high vis jacket and you get away with murder kind of thing, and I've got a baseball cap on because I've got a shit hair thing because my hair's gold tits up. So I've got my son's baseball cap on, which is like fairly cool actually. It's an Obey thing, and. Do you know what? I don't actually give a shit because if it makes people take a second look and they listen to the message, which frankly is about the power of art and creativity, because we've got to rebuild the world on creativity and community as far as I'm concerned. What are your thoughts about that? Creativity is...
right. I'll tell you my thoughts about that. All the stuff with schools and everything that's... you don't want to be doing music and you don't want to be doing art. You know, you've got to do business and science. And look, business and science have their place, especially science. I mean, science, we're too sort of, it's science, you know, let's bogged down to it. But anyway, lockdown comes, it's the end of the world. What does everyone do? Everyone wants to get creative, right? Everyone starts painting, playing music, because that's where it's at, you know. You want to do stuff that expands your mind, you know, not compresses your bloody mind, you know. So, yeah. I love creative.
Well, you're absolutely right, and the whole, if you like, the whole Thursday night clap stuff. You know, people haven't just been clapping; they've been banging bin lids. And Rob the Bank's dad got his trombone out. You know, and people are playing instruments. But what we take.
Rob the Bank, yeah, he's a nice guy, isn't he?
He's superb down on the Isle of Wight. Well, so basically, my story is I went to Camp Bestival 10 years ago, which is like the Guardian readers' version of Glastonbury, basically for families, and. Madness were there, and I'm in the mosh pit with Madness. My son's on my shoulders, pouring rain. I think this is brilliant because I've got my son on my shoulders to a band that I saw when I was 16, whatever. And we thought, how do we bring the vibe of a festival into our kids' school? Because like every bossy parent, middle class, sharp elbow parent, I want the best for my kids. I want to have good vibes, and I believe creativity is important. So we started running creativity festivals in our kids' school. And we did it for 8 years, and I thought, this is brilliant, right? And I gave my job up 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm now trying to roll it out across the whole country. But the problem we have is that, this is a bit strong, I don't believe many people care about kids' creativity or futures and the link between them until they have their own kids and they realise what we do to kids in schools and how we dumb them down and stick them in a sausage factory. Does that ring any bells with you?
Well, yeah, we all know that's one size fits all, and if you're a tall poppy, you'll get cut down to size a lot of the time. In that the way it works. So yeah, absolutely. You know, you just you got to, you don't want to have people constrained. You want people to expand. You know, and all that, and also we've got a terrible class system in this country, which is really evident now with the absolute tossers that are running the show at the moment. You know.
Couldn't possibly comment.
We waste talent on an industrial scale in this country, because you look at that cabinet, you look at the kind of people that run the country increasingly, not up to much. Private, you know, a lot of them elite public school boys and girls, you know, they got very little knowledge of dealing with real problems. And, you know, an ordinary person goes out into life and you haven't got much of a safety net, and if you don't graft hard and you know stay kind of switched on, you know, you could get homeless or whatever. You know, the same rules don't really apply to those people. So they've got great sense of entitlement. So someone like Boris Johnson ends up running the country and not really capable of running a market stall. You know, it's not good. So yeah, this country, especially the class thing, needs to be dealt with. It probably will never happen in my lifetime, you know. But you never know, you know. I was born in 58.
Well, hang on. Is that you giving up then? Is it? It's not going to happen in your lifetime.
No. You think Jar Wobble 61's going to give up? You
well,
have a laugh.
You say it's not going to happen.
You carry on. You just carry. You know, you dower of perseverance. All I'm saying is, it's persevered this long. I'm 61. I could have an heart attack. Who knows? You know, COVID, God forbid. You know, so let's get that right as well. It's this class thing. Look at Brexit. You know, they pulled that off. So let's get it right. You know, a lot of this country is very conservative. You know, small and large C, and the you know, a lot of the people that run media, etc., have got a vice-like grip on it all. You know, so therefore, there's no sign of an imminent. That's their